Just fine.
I have a few, but they gotta be better pretty quick.
Thank you. You see it.
Thank you so much for coming today. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to read the obituary first. Yoshie Tobe Good died peacefully in her home at age 93 on September 29th, 2025. Yoshie was born in Chiba, Japan in 1932, the second of 10 siblings. Her parents, Shinzo and Kono Tobe, were agricultural landowners who raised silkworms before World War II, but then suffered greatly during the war. Yoshie's many siblings remember her as studious, capable, kind, caring, and strict. After graduating high school, Yoshie studied to become a Bible school instructor. There she met missionaries Forrest and Faye Huttenlocker and started working for them as a housekeeper. Japan was economically declined after the war. And as Yoshie learned more about America from the Huttenlockers, she yearned to move forth. Welcome. Thank you so much. She yearned to move there, or here. So she began to study traditional Japanese ikebana flower arranging. The Huttenlockers agreed to sponsor her to come to work for them in the United States. Yoshie came and assisted Mrs. Huttenlocker, who was an editor for the magazine Better Homes and Gardens. The magazine appreciated the Japanese crafts and unique ideas Yoshie brought. The Huttenlockers encouraged Yoshie to enroll at Drake University, where she received a degree in art. At Drake, she met Leonard Phelps Good, who was the chair of the Drake Art Department at the time. They married on November 26, 1970, and they shared 30 years together until Leonard's passing in 2000 at the age of 94. Her siblings recall that Yoshie was concerned about her family back in Japan and would mail items that were unusual in Japan, such as chocolates, snacks, and money. In 1977, Leonard and Yoshie moved back to Chickasha, where he was born, and built their unique home neighboring the old Good homestead. In the 70s and 80s, Yoshie worked at Mui Designs Orient, a luxury interior design furniture and clothing store in Oklahoma City. Over the years of their marriage, Yoshie organized exhibits of Leonard's artwork, including a postmortem exhibit in Japan in 2007. In her later years, Yoshie was very active in the Chickasha First Presbyterian Church, where she was involved in Sunday school and decorating with origami and many ikebana flower arrangements. She loved to garden. She had Japanese plum trees and many flowers that bloomed throughout the warm seasons in her lush yard. Yoshie was beloved by many in the community who would comment and ask after Sunshine, her Japanese-speaking doll. She was preceded in death by her parents and husband, Leonard Phelps Good. Yoshie is survived by 5 of her siblings and her stepson, Leonard Jacob Good. Her siblings say she never regretted leaving Japan, and she lived life in her own way. And now, we're going to have a song from Michelle.
I'm Judy Atkins from the First Presbyterian Church here in Chickasha. I knew Yoshie through our church. That was my connection with her. And Nedra and I wanted to share a few things with you this afternoon. You do know that Yoshie had a sense of humor. I'll tell you about one. She made the most gorgeous floral arrangements ever. And she asked us, she would invite us, bring what you have. She would invite the members, bring something out of your yard. And it was amazing what she would come up with. Gorgeous. Every arrangement was unique. Nothing, there was no two alike. She was, however, known to remove any fake flowers because she thought only the fresh or the natural belonged in her arrangements. She assisted me many times with Pentecost decorations and decorations for Maundy, Thursday, beautiful tablescapes. Anything she added just upped it another level. She made at least 1,000 origami cranes to give out, especially to the children of our summer food and fun program. They looked so forward to that. She would make sure we had a bucket at the end of the table and they would just take handfuls. She loved children. She loved children. And she had this idea, and one of our favorite memories, she helped the Sunday school kids make those origami cranes. So on Pentecost Sunday, they all went to the balcony. This was a surprise to the rest of the members. She let those cranes flow down to all the people in the sanctuary. It was beautiful. She participated in our Sunday school and our Bible study groups. When she was called on to read, she chose her Bible and read in Japanese. We enjoyed that. She enjoyed fellowship, coffee time, fellowship dinners. She was right there. I asked if I could read a scripture verse. This comes from Proverbs 31, just a few of the verses. And the title of this is Ode to a Woman of Strength. A woman of strength who can find, she is far more precious than jewels. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength, makes her arms strong. She opens her hand to the poor. She reaches out her hands to the needy. Strength and dignity are her clothing. She laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue.
Talking about Yoshie makes us smile, doesn't it? We all have good memories. My name is Nedra and I live in Dibble, but I know Yoshie from church as well. I would drive in every Sunday morning and a couple times during the week. Every summer, the summer food and fun volunteers loved it because Yoshie would come and she always brought donuts for the volunteers as they were working. One day, Yoshie was driving by the church and she spotted Nick and Judy trimming a rows of Sharon bush. She immediately stopped her car and got out and ran to help her. But they had to tell her, Yoshie, you have to get your car off the street first. There was one spot in the parking lot that was painted no parking. Nick, that's where Yoshie parked every Sunday. Yoshie did not hesitate to invite others to church. We had several visitors because of Yoshie. Yoshie loved to work in the memorial garden. She was seen pulling weeds there early Sunday mornings many times. One day, a group was working in the garden, weeding, and we asked her, so Yoshie sat down and shared with us some of her young girl memories of World War II living in Japan. Also, one time a member of the church asked Yoshie to look at the World War II money he had from Japan, and Yoshie very patiently described it all, translated it all, and explained it all to him, the value. If you ever visited Yoshie at home, she always felt like she had to gift you. You couldn't go away without a cookie or flower or a book or something. Yoshie was proud of her family, her heritage, and she loved going through photos and telling the stories of those she loved. And I have one verse from the Song of Solomon that made me think of Yoshie. This is verse 12 of chapter 2. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land.
Nancy and I would like to share the Lord's Prayer with you. If you would bow your heads. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
天におられる私たちの父よ、皆が聖意とされますように、お国が来ますように。御心が天に行われる通り、地に行われますように。
Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
私たちの日ごとの糧を今日もお与えください。私たちの罪をお許しください。私たちも人を許します。
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
私たちも誘惑に陥らせず、悪からお救いください。御国と力と栄光は永遠にあなたのものです。アーメン。Invite Michelle up for another song.
Well, I'm not much of a funeral person, but I'm up here today because I'm kind of a Mrs. Good person. Mrs. Good has been part of our family for over 30 years. In 1991, she walked into my husband W.R.'s law office and asked him for help with a small claims case. And he didn't take the case, but he told her, it's small claims, you can go, do it yourself, you'll be fine. So he gave her some instructions, and she did it by herself, and she won. That was Mrs. Good. From that moment, our relationship with her began. Over the next 3 decades, our connection continued in many different ways, but especially over the last 5 years. During that time, she spent holidays with us at our home, becoming part of our family traditions. As my kids were growing up, she put a mark on them. She came over, she taught them origami, she shared with them tea ceremony, she taught them to play Go, an ancient board game. She even brought her nephew from Japan to our house, and she helped us host a Chamber of Commerce exchange person from Japan with whom she became very close. When Mrs. Good was with us for holidays, she always added a spark to the occasion. We couldn't start dinner until the candles were lit. I never lit the candles because I always tended to make a mess of the wax and the fire, and it didn't work. But whenever she was there, we didn't eat until they were lit. She was a unique person with her own way of doing things. She had no problem asserting herself and letting you know what she wanted or didn't want. Maybe more than once. Over these last months, she wasn't exactly what you would call a model patient. She didn't like the walker I got her, so it sat in the corner, and she kept using the broken one until we finally convinced her to use the new one. I thought the old one was a hazard, but she kept using it. She made everyone who cared for her earn everything they did for her. She didn't really want to be a patient, but as the time got closer and she was ready to move on, she became very peaceful. She still had her moments, but there was a serenity about her. Sometimes she would raise her hand to my face. That was her way of telling me, you've said enough, or that it's time for you to leave. And when she did that, I just left. No arguing about that. In her last week, we positioned her bed by the glass doors so that she could see the birds, the plants, and the flowers outside. She loved eating watermelon and angel food cake. And as hospice told me, at this stage, she can eat whatever she wants. So that's what we did. I saw her the day before she passed. She was lying in bed peacefully, awake, her eyes not fully open, breathing shallow, but steady. She looked beautiful. Shortly after her death, she looked the same, only no longer breathing, peaceful, restful. It told me she was okay and that things would be okay. She chose her own time, even before hospice expected her to go, and she went at home. We will all miss Mrs. Good deeply. She was always fun to be around. She brought a spark to whatever occasion she participated in. I'll never forget the day she took me aside at my office to tell me, don't worry, I'm not crazy for having this talking Japanese doll. She said, I just like it because it keeps me up on my Japanese language skills. And I thought, I don't think you're crazy. It's just Mrs. Good. She always had her own way of doing things. And we're going to miss you, Yoshie.
That's what I lost. What is it? Long time ago. Around 1944, 1985. LINE してくれてありがとう。最近はラビンの耳。そう。あんたどこからこれ来たの？これは貧困なお姉ちゃんがくれたんですね。面白いね。天外なだ。バンザーイ。情報のお手でバンザーイ。
Would anyone else like to come up? We invite you to share memories or some words about Yoshie.
Hello everyone. I'm not much of a speaker, so I'm gonna just give y'all some of the memories that I shared with Yoshie. I met Yoshie when I was working at Dunn's as a grocery store attendant. And, we just kinda hit it off from there. I would go to her house and show her different fruit, and she'd make me tea. She showed me how to make matcha tea the right way. And, she was just a really sweet lady. There was a lot of times when she was lonely, and I could tell. And I would go to her house, and I would spend a lot of time with her. We'd watch kabuki plays and listen to Madame Butterfly. She'd drink a beer, and I'd drink some tea. And, there's one thing when, you had read the poem about her being a strong woman. She was very strong, very resilient. There was one time in particular that she was having problems with hornets in the top of her house, and she couldn't get anyone to go spray them. She went up there herself with a ladder and sprayed, and they attacked her. But she didn't fall down or anything. She just slowly walked down the ladder, went back in the house, and started watching TV. And she was a very resilient lady, and I had seen her like the day after, and because our friend Willie had said something about it happening to her, so I wanted to check on her. When I saw her, she was just in the best spirit, best mood, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm fine." And I was like, wow, I know I'd be crying if I got attacked by bees, let alone on a ladder by myself. But she was a sweet lady, and I'm gonna miss her a lot. There was a lot of times that I had cried on her shoulder, and times she just told me things were gonna be okay. But I'm gonna cherish these 12 years that I did get to spend with her. She was with me when I was going through a fertility battle, and she got to meet my daughter. She got to hold my daughter, and so I'm gonna miss Yoshie a lot because I don't have grandparents. And Yoshie was like a grandparent to me, so that's all I really have to say.
I'm not a good speaker either. All I can tell you from the bottom of my heart is I loved Yoshie. She was like a second woman. We had a lot of adventures together. She went to my son's ball games. I took her to the YMCA at night, and she tried to shoot a basketball. And got that eye. And she tried, and I admired her for it. We was walking downtown, and the traffic was pretty heavy, and Yoshie just went like this. Like she was just, everybody was supposed to stop for her, and they did. And I remodeled the house, and she would go over there with me every night, and there was a big old gap on the ceiling, and she was holding the bucket, and I would texture it, and I said, okay, I got it. She said, do it again. She made me do it like 10 times because she was a perfectionist. But anyway, we just had a lot of good times together, and I love her so much, and it just saddens me that I know she's in a better place. She's just a wonderful person, and I'm gonna miss her.
My name's Tobe Williams, and I live in Duncan. And I met Yoshie when she came to the museum, the Chisholm Heritage Center, quite a few years ago. And she wanted to exhibit Leonard's work, which we did. She was so proud of his work, and we exhibited it for several months. And then I just got to know her, and I would visit her when I come through home, on my way to Home City or something. And we always had a little tea ceremony. I'm also a plant enthusiast, and she gave me some wonderful plants. I still have the woodland orchids that she gave me. I don't know if they're still growing in her yard, but it's the only orchid native to Oklahoma. It's native to a lot of other states too, but it's the only one that is native to Oklahoma. She was such a sweetheart. She'd always give me the little origamis. We had a little tea ceremony, and I appreciated the time I got to spend with Yoshie.
Russell, and I'm gonna do this well if I can. I want to thank God for giving us the opportunity to remember Miss Josie from Medicine. And we all love her. And, I loved her beautiful smile, but her kindness, and she had a lot of good times with the grandchildren's birthday parties, and I never speak in public, but I'm doing it because the love I have for her, and we had, and I don't want to regret nothing. But she was a beautiful, wonderful woman, and we're all gonna miss her, and I don't like wearing jewelry. And today I wore my gold chain, because Miss Josie had a article. We're gonna miss her, and she will forever be in our hearts.
Anyone else? Thank you all so much for coming. It means a lot. We're going to have a gathering after this at Interurban. There's a little side room there. So please, you're all invited, and I hope you'll come join us there, and we can share more anecdotes and memories of Yoshie. I'm not sure the address, but maybe everybody knows. All right, thank you again.